Number 3 is a popular one amongst various teachers of joint mobility and is known as the Egyptian. The Egyptian has the feet together and the arms on the side extended. The shoulder comes in, the body dips, the buttocks point to one side, and then reverse to the other side. Full range of motion. Now what you can do, you can pretend that you have something on your chin that you want to remove with your shoulder. So if I were like going to do this motion here, so I will bring the arm, let's do one arm by itself. I bring the arm in and then out. Then I bring it back in, rotate out. In, down, out, in, up, back, down, out. With my body, what I'm doing, I am dipping and rotating my torso so that my buttocks, my hips are going to point that direction and then change to the other side. If having the feet together causes you to lose balance, not very stable, then it is quite okay to open the legs a little more to feel more stability. But if you can keep the feet together, even better. So we'll come here. Oftentimes what happens is that as we're doing this, we end up moving the arm around all over the place. Same way that we were doing this, people put their arms here. So oftentimes this is what people do. And move the arm all over. That's not what we want to do. Imagine that you have your arms like on a cylinder, a tube, if you will, or a big sleeve, and your arm is inside that container. You put them in there. And that imaginary cylinder is going to restrict your range of motion to the cylinder itself. So if I do it this way here, I'm inside, my right arm and my left arm are inside the cylinders. I can't move it out of it. I stay inside the cylinder. See? And that helps to keep the arms inside the same parallel plane rather than moving them around all over the place. So look yourself in the mirror when you're doing this. And notice how that you will end up moving the arms all over the place, and you don't want to do that. Just imagine the cylinder idea that you're inside the sleeves here. So here, notice how my hands are also rotating. So not only there is articulation here, but also the rotation brings more articulation where my humerus and my scapula rotates. So here. As I go to that side, I would look this way here, and then I would look here. So now I'm articulating on my neck as well as my arms, and that's the Egyptian. Next, we're going to do one that comes from Chen style of Tai Chi, and is a favorite amongst many of the shoulders. We have a lot of shoulder joint mobility drills, and when you're practicing, naturally you're not going to go through all of them, but you go through some of them today, and tomorrow do different ones. This next one here, come here and out, here and out, here. So again, imagine that imaginary cylinder through which you're putting your hand out here, see? Bring it in as if you're going to tickle yourself. Out, in, out, in, out. Oftentimes, this is what happens. people think this is what we're doing, and they lean forward, and the arm goes way down here. But that's not what's going on. My torso, my body is simply really just going here, out. So you see the joint mobility on my legs and my torso as well, but now I'm adding the arm component to it. And then the other side. From the back, it will look something like this. Okay. Then you combine both of them, just like we did on the Egyptian this time. Coming in here. Remember, keep the arm close to the axilla, to the armpit. Pretend that you're putting the arm inside a cylinder. And so on. Okay, this next one we're going to do is going to bring the arm to a full rotation this direction here, turn the palm, so you have like the thumb leading the path. And then reverse it. And then the other arm, the thumb leads. Then reverse it. And you can have so many variations of this particular drill, again, because of the mobility of the shoulder. You could, for example, do like figure eights. Same here. And for that matter, you could do them together, the figure eights together. Full range of motion. Next, bring the arm here, up, back, down, forward. And this time we are shifting the weight from the rear to the front, and what we want to do, guys, is keep the elbow straight. We want to avoid doing this. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, but that's not the drill. Keeping the arm straight, bring it back, down, let it drop, bring it forward, up, back, down. And reverse it. Back, up, forward, down. Like a piston in a car. And the other side. So from the front. Now I want you to pay attention to what I'm going to do with my knees here, okay? A common problem is that we'll come forward and the knee will collapse inward. And we don't want to do that. We want to always, whenever we do any exercise at all, to make sure that the knee is tracking the toes. So if you can imagine that you have your knee aligned to the first and second toe, that will help keep the knee from dropping in. The other thing we want to avoid is having the knee going past the toes, okay? So as I come forward here, I come in, back, so again, I don't want this misaligned, toes there, knee here, I want to keep them here. Notice the torso is also rotating. And then change it. You can add a higher level of sophistication or difficulty to this by taking this hand and placing it on your elbow and then just relaxing the arm to it. That's going to put the weight of this arm on this one and cause this arm to connect to the rest of your body. So as I'm doing this here, this arm is just relaxed. And again, this is something you might want to do later when you need to add resistance in order to strengthen the joint itself. All right, so let's recap quickly. Our very first one was shoulder rolls. We did them back and we did them forward. Remember to rotate the arm. We did both sides here, back and forward, and then we'll do both of them together. Back, forward, and reverse it. We also went on this plane, on the frontal plane. Remember to rotate the arms as you go around the full range of motion, both ways. We also did the Egyptian. Remember to pretend that your arms are inside a cylinder. This will keep your arm from going all over the place. We also did rotation in this plane and back, having the thumb lead in the action, both arms. And we also did them in a figure 8 configuration. Both arms. Okay? Work at it. Remember, we have our forums, questions, email me, support ticket, whatever is necessary that we need to do in order to help you progress with your joint mobility exercises. Thank you.